I'm Melanie. I'm going to be representing Jesus and myself, who operate as Dignidad Rebelde. This is our purpose. We really just came together out of love. Like, we were flirting. He was like, don't take another class at a community college. I'll teach you. We'll work together. And out of shared principles and interest in each other, we created this project.
Don't take another class line.
We've been co-mentoring each other.
That's what they call it.
Man, I gotta try that one.
So the story I want to tell is about how we've shrunk the space between Oakland and Arizona, our friends and families, for a long time. But I'm picking April 23rd, 2010 as the starting point of the story. With Alto Arizona, Jeff talked a little bit about the campaign that Endelon and Puente, which is the local organization in Arizona, launched to ask people to create viral art that would start to address the issue of the Senate bill going through the Senate. It hadn't been signed into law yet. And so our friend Ernesto, who created this piece on the right, was really smart, and he was like, I'm going to ask the artists that I know can turn something around first so that we can get something up on the website. So he contacts Jesus and I, and we're like, of course, he's our homie. He was recruited to go to Arizona to see what Sheriff Arpaio was doing before there was even an SB 1070 by Zach De La Rocha of Rage Against the Machine. And so it was about these relationships of trust and friendship. Like, these things wouldn't have been possible. He couldn't have called us, cold call, and we would have been like, dude, like, we can't turn this around 24 hours unless he was our homie. And so that's what made it possible for him to do that kind of ask. So here you can see at that point, I'm even creating a piece that's saying, veto the bill. Please call Jan Brewer. Let's put pressure on her. We know what happened since then. So we were really inspired because tons of graphic work was being made, and we wanted to do something here at home. So May Day was coming up. Everybody's feeling depressed, you know, like the economy's tanking, public schools suck, there's raids happening everywhere, like door knocking, work home raids, and so I'm feeling like, what can we do to create something beautiful and put beauty into the streets? And so I called the coalition that does the May Day march here in Oakland, and I called every one of the organizations and said, if Jesus and I take on organizing, you know, an art event, will you come? And so we partner with Eastside, which hosts us, and with all the organizations, and we create a print day. And so I have this vision of flooding the streets with art because things are so shitty. And so we do a skill share and teach people how to screen print, and there's other people that are teaching how to do murals, like on canvases, and there's folks that are printing shirts. And so the next day, we're able to give out 500 handmade pieces made by little girls in the previous picture. You know, the three of them working together, because normally someone as tall as Jesus is pulling that print, but they figured out how to do it. One pulled the paper, one pulled the squeegee, the other one put the print on the rack, and are able to like take the empowerment that comes from creation and working together as community. And so you have little kids and elders working together, people that maybe have never met, and creating these beautiful things to give out to the people at the May Day March. And so that was so much fun that as the National Day of Action that's being called for in Arizona to protest SB 1070 is emerging, we're like, let's do it again. So again, we partner with Eastside, and this time we focus it a little bit more, and we bring Native and Chicana artists, and that's a false dichotomy in and of itself, together. And we actually ask other artists to design prints, and there's about a dozen of us that come together, and we print another ton of posters. We send them to Arizona, and I'm going to fast forward through this. I have less time than I thought. So, and then another month goes by, and then there's a day of non-compliance by this time, the U.S. Social Forum's the moment when we finally get to meet people from Arizona face to face. So we start to collaborate with local photographers. We organize another event in East LA, bring more people together, send love from these different places to Arizona, and send more posters. Over the course of the summer, we send 3,500 posters to Arizona, 700 stay in Oakland. We make it to the front page of the newspaper for doing this. And finally, last week, we set foot in Arizona. And so at this point, we are getting resources from the Culture Strike as well as NALAC to do skill shares with the people that are there on the ground organizing. And over the course of about a week, we printed about 400 posters, but more importantly, we're developing the relationships with people on the ground, and they're creating their own work. Some of it's really funny and awesome. You know, people that know Saved by the Bell may recognize this character. And as well as they're getting ready for some major actions, and we're helping them by teaching them how to do fundraising and how to build the infrastructure for themselves, you know, as artists on the ground, because like, what's the contradiction of not having resources for people from Arizona themselves? You know, like those artists should be able to fundraise the same way. So that's my pitch. If y'all are interested in donating to Arizona artists to have, you know, the autonomy to make their own work, we have posters that we printed to help fundraise for them. But if you'd like to give directly, go to puenteaz.org. They need $500 to do all of the different art that they're trying to make, and we're trying to support that, recognizing that, you know, it shouldn't just be outside artists benefiting from being able to articulate something, but that the artists themselves on the ground should be able to do that.